Greetings, I'm Lieutenant Colonel George Salerno, West Point class of 1988. I oversee the admissions effort for the United States Military Academy in the North Texas area. I'm going to give you an overview of West Point, the application process, and some generic guidance on your journey attending an academy. I will cover some of this material briefly due to the time limitations. You can find further information at westpoint.edu or reach out to your field force representative. West Point is one of the premier leadership institutions in the world. West Point has trained leaders for the U.S. Army and the nation since its establishment in 1802. It is located on scenic and historic grounds approximately 50 miles north of New York City along the Hudson River. What you see here is the location of the primary cadet and academic areas. The reservation further covers over 200,000 acres. We like to say that much of the history taught at West Point was made by those who graduated here. These are just several of the thousands of graduates who have impacted our nation. The mission of the military academy is to train leaders of character in preparation for the U.S. Army and service to the nation. I emphasize service to the Army as the primary mission of West Point is to produce officers to lead soldiers. I'll talk a little bit about more of this later. The four areas of emphasis on which West Point concentrates in preparing cadets to become officers in the Army revolved around academic, physical, military, and character development. Throughout the years, West Point has ranked highly in various publications for its academic programs. I will note we usually do better than our sister academies. The academy faculty is first rate. Most come from the active duty Army. Not only do they provide academic instruction, they also mentor you in preparation for your military career. 20% come from civilian institutions with tough competition to serve at West Point. Most classes are small, which allows focused attention to instruction. One of the great things about attending an academy is faculty access. The culture within the faculty is always having an open door for assistance. As always, the Academy has substantial funding for cadets to conduct a wide variety of research and academic endeavors. There are a wide variety of majors available at the Academy. You will select your major at the end of your freshman year. Some majors will be used in your functional positions in the military. Regardless, they all provide a well-rounded foundation of military service. Military training is a major component in cadet development. This starts your first summer with Cadet Basic Training, more commonly known as BEAST. This is your basic military training where you are transformed from civilian to soldier. Throughout the academic year, you'll receive a variety of military training that carries over to your yearling summer with cadet field training. Think of it as advanced military training. You may also have opportunities for academic and military internships in the summer periods. In your junior and senior years, you will have opportunities to practice the military and leadership skills you developed the previous 2 years. Cadets form the cadre for both cadet basic and field training. There are opportunities for military training, such as airborne and air assault schools, as well as shadowing active duty lieutenants to experience the real Army. Between your junior and senior years, cadets attend the Cadet Leadership Training, which is a capstone tactical leadership event. To meet the physical needs of an officer, West Point places a heavy emphasis on physical training. Soldiers expect their leaders to be physically fit and set the example. Here you see the physical training classes for the academic year. To complement the physical training, every cadet is an athlete. You will either participate in one of the numerous NCAA or club sport teams or participate in company level intramural athletic competition. This is a typical day at West Point, similar to all academies. Time management is critical in a skill that carries forward to both military and civilian life. So, to attend West Point, what do you need to do? First, you need to open an application. The first portion opens around January of your junior year in high school. For qualified candidates, you will receive the second step kit, usually in late summer. That is the main application. The key to this is completing your application as soon as possible, as this also triggers medical exams to ensure you meet the medical standards to serve in the military. In parallel to the application, you must receive a nomination from either a congressional source, local congressman or senator, vice president, or service connected if either of your parents applicably served. When West Point scores an application, 60% will be based on academics, primarily SAT, ACT scores, with a portion based on your GPA. In the C19 environment, more weight will be placed on your GPA. Leadership is based on your activities and athletic participation. If you're a scout, get your Regal or Gold Award. If you haven't participated in any sport, try to get into one now. Regardless, ensure you keep this portion of your application updated. The candidate fitness assessment is the last 10%. The two portions that require video are noted. Detailed instructions are in the application. Key, you should train for this event. I recommend starting now and take the assessment around September or early October. Though not required until January, I would highly advise you complete this no later than the end of October. As for interviews, the field force will conduct these when needed. We will base scheduling on how complete your application is. To attend an academy, one must meet the medical physical standards of the military. The academy will schedule your assessment based on application competitiveness and completion. This is why we recommend you complete as much of your application as soon as possible so any potential medical issues can be remediated quickly. As noted, medical waivers are on a case by case basis and the Academy makes that determination. As noted, you need to receive a nomination. Apply to all sources in which you're qualified. At least ensure you submit files to your members of Congress, your two senators, and the Vice President. Most have websites for their specific requirements. For those who are qualified for service-connected nominations, information can be found on the admissions website on how to submit. Remember, the nomination process is separate from the Academy application. If you receive a nomination and are qualified academically and medically, the admissions board will review your file to determine if you should receive an appointment to West Point. The application process is extremely competitive. Though you may be extremely qualified and competitive, understand that there are some variables out of your control. Around 30,000 candidates will open a file, around 13,500 will be competitive and complete a file, around 4,000 will receive nominations, only 1,200 will receive appointments. In filling the class, approximately 850 will come from congressional nominations, 150 from the national waiting list, and approximately 150 from service connected. If you desire to visit the Academy, there are opportunities to do so. The contact information is listed above. Just note this is on your own dime. The Academy does not pay for people to come visit. Conduct thorough research about West Point, Academy life, and the military. All these resources are a good start. A decent read about cadet life is a book entitled Absolutely American. It gives good insight behind the gray wall. This is your process, so the onus is on you to stay on top of things. These are some keys to success, though they don't guarantee an appointment. I'll again emphasize training for the CFA. Also, keep communications up with your field force representatives. Ask questions. That is why we are here. And this is what your goal is, graduating and commissioning as a second lieutenant. Now I'd like to give you some generic advice based on personal experience as a cadet and missions representative for 10 years and an Army officer for 21 years. There's only one reason to attend a service academy, to serve your nation as an officer in that respective service. That's it. The academy's purpose is to produce officers for the respective service. Everything else in attending is gravy. All offer similar majors. Most graduates do not even use their majors in military service, so your major availability is a nice to have. Same with location, social life clubs, and so on. The first thing you need to do is research the service, their culture, the opportunities available after graduation, and what you want to do. That is what drives your academy choice. The service academies are essentially trade schools to produce military officers. In my case, I didn't care. Navy was my first choice. My original nomination was to the Air Force Academy, and I received an appointment to West Point. This ended up being the best choice for me, and I enjoyed it for the 21 years I did in the Army. The reason why I enjoyed it is the Army is about people, leading some of the finest. Almost regardless of the Army branch, you will lead people shortly after graduation. Same with the Marines. The Navy is more technology and engineering focused. For Air Force, a majority will become pilots with a few staff. It is critical you research that service and opportunities beyond rose-colored glasses. A story to give you context. At a nomination panel, there was a young man who had Air Force as his first choice because he wanted to be a nuclear engineer. In further discussion, he didn't research and realized the Navy would have been a better choice. He didn't get an appointment. It's nice to want to be a Ranger, SEAL, Special Forces, a pilot, a submariner, even a doctor. There is competition and qualification for these positions in the respective academies. The rhetorical question I will ask is, if you can't fly, will you be happy in the Air Force? If you don't become a SEAL, will you be happy being a surface warfare officer? If you're not an infantry officer, will you be happy with artillery? If you're not a doctor, will you be happy being in the infantry? Regardless of whatever academy you choose, I want you to make the right choice for you. If West Point's your first choice, great, but do the research and think about it. I wish you luck on this journey. We're here to help, and have a great day. Thanks.